everyone. People and talking about them, thinking about them is a sensitive topic. And in my school, my sociology department is full of such people who are sensitive towards the society, towards the needs of the society, and especially towards people who are not so perfect. Actually speaking, no individual can be perfect. But as a society, we have these norms because of which some people do think that they are better than others. This wrong thinking, it needs to be corrected by the present generation. And I'm proud to say that my sociology department, led by the teacher of sociology, has done a wonderful work to sensitize everybody who has touched her life. Today's presentation is a testimony to this. To view it and see how sensitive and sensitized our children are towards the needs of the society. My sociology department has taken this initiative to demystify the misconceptions surrounding disability, and I appreciate the work that they have put together. Thank you.
A very warm welcome to everyone present here. What you just saw is a humble attempt to showcase the diversity India holds. It's not wrong to say that India's beauty is because of its diversity. India is not just a piece of land, it's a living entity where people of different caste and class, different race and creed, different religion, different community, different sexual orientation, different gender identity, different profession and different lifestyle live together in unity and harmony. There is no differentiation and everyone lives equally. And then comes the work of our favorite subject, sociology. Sociology not only studies the layer of society, but it studies the human behavior. It studies how humans observe and react. It studies the moments that have taken place. It studies the fights that have been fought. It studies the struggle that people have gone through. Sociology not only studies the past, but it also studies the present so that it can help us in creating a better future for everyone else. Now, I would like to pass over the mic to my fellow friends.
A very good morning to one and all. I'm Mansi, an alumnus of DLDAV Model School Shalimar Bagh, and I feel glad and honored to be a part of this event from the Department of Sociology of my school, as I feel that sociology is a very important subject and has a very profound influence on every aspect in our everyday lives. Sociology is a social science that deals with human behavior, human relationships, and human being as a resource, being at the heart of a society and its development. Its subject matter is very diverse and it encompasses almost everything under the sun, be it caste, class, education, empowerment, discrimination, crime, and whatnot. It has helped me develop as a human being by bringing out and evolving the humane aspect within my personality which was somewhere hidden and I never knew it. Also, it is not just simple and interesting subject, but is also challenges us by broadening our mental horizons and allowing us to come out of our closets and experience the new avenues of our everyday lives, which we never know that they exist. So I am glad to have been able to study it at my school level. And thank you so much and all the very best.
Everyone. I am Simriddhi, an alumna from batch 2020, and with me I have Yashika from batch 2019. We welcome you to our event, This is Ability. This event is a small endeavor from the Sociology Department of DLDAV Shalimar Bagh to create awareness about disability. Yashika, I have a startling fact to share with you. According to the 2011 census, in India, out of 121 crore people, 2.68 crore are disabled. This group makes up to a considerable 2.21% of our country's population. By definition, persons with disabilities are those who have long-term physical, mental, intellectual, or sensory impairments. Dear friends, despite the staggering number of people with disabilities in our country, we understand very little about disability. We mistakenly associate it with only crutches and wheelchairs. But, dear friends, the reality is actually the opposite. Disability does not in any way mean inability. Disabled people are as capable as other human beings. Neither do they want to be treated as an inspiration, nor do they want to be seen as lesser beings. They just want to be treated at par with others.
Rightly said, Smriti. And what you just mentioned reminded me of the three A's: attitude, accessibility, and affordability. The first A is attitude. In a country where more than 2% of the total population is counted as the differently abled, we stand far behind in our efforts of creating a conducive and tolerant environment for them. We treat them as the other or as beings to ogle at. I am sad to say that even today, some people continue to believe that disability is God's curse or karma. Such an attitude needs to change.
Exactly. The very idea of seeing the disabled person as a victim roots from society's ignorant attitude and their need of seeing something uncommon as abnormal. Our prejudices prevent the differently abled from living a life free from ogling eyes and pitying looks.
And when we see them as a bechara or as an inspiring heroic figure, we dehumanize them. In order to normalize disability, we must change our own attitude towards it and see the normal human being behind the disability, the human which has its own flaws and strength. What do you think about this, Smriti?
You are absolutely right. Unless we repair our myopic vision, the social stigma and issues that surround disability will be impossible to battle. We need to fight ignorance with receptiveness and awareness. Now let us move on to the second A, accessibility. Let us understand this with an example. Yashika, can you survive without your pair of glasses?
Certainly not.
Now, what if we go 700 years back when no pair of glasses were accessible? Besides facing major issues, you would be called disabled. But we are fortunate enough that we are born in an advanced age where not only a pair of glasses, but so many other ways of handling visual disability are accessible.
I never thought about it this way, but you are correct.
In the same way, making good infrastructure accessible acts as a pair of glasses for the disabled. In countries with disabled-friendly infrastructure, people with disabilities are able to perform all the activities on their own, which they cannot in a country with poor infrastructure. In many cases, it is not the person's disability which acts as a hindrance, but the infrastructural disability which obstructs. In a country such as India, the disabled face grave issues in doing things as simple as boarding a bus or going to the ATM. This clearly shows how urgently we need to make public spaces accessible to the disabled.
You are right. Accessibility must include accommodative infrastructures like ramps in common areas and buildings. It should also be noted that hearing aids, visual aids, and other such products should be made more accessible to the public, which can be done through a number of schemes.
And Yashika, what about the third A?
The third A is affordability, which refers to subsidy on the aids and products that I just mentioned. Such aids help the differently able to live a more normal life. Not everyone can afford expensive products like these, but everyone should be able to. Instead of being subsidized, there is a tax charged on them, which makes them more expensive than they have to be. This remains an important issue for those disabled people who live in poverty. We can help the cause if you and I, if all of us, work hard towards disseminating awareness and normalizing the issue of disability so that it no longer makes anyone uncomfortable. And Smriti, is not that the job of sociology?
Exactly, that is the job of sociology. The discipline of sociology addresses similar issues. It is one of the very few subjects which dispels delusions around disability by creating awareness. It throws light on the social stigma and marginalization faced by the differently abled in our society, and it sensitizes the masses on even the littlest of things regarding disability. We often hear common people use the term andha or behera for someone as an abuse. Sociology teaches us against the use of such words as abuses.
Through the intensive study of sociology, we broaden our mindsets and are able to empirically study the many facets of our society. Not only that, but we are able to empathize and understand different perspectives. A holistic approach towards the many issues of our society enables the development of a more open-minded public, which in turn creates an inclusive and advanced society. A discipline that comprises all sciences and arts, sociology helps build not only a competent human being, but a peaceful and progressive world.
In line with what this subject teaches us, today's event is a small effort from our side to create awareness. Dear friends, we can be sensitive towards a subject only when we possess complete and proper knowledge about it. So while gathering more information about disability, we take this event forward.
In order to stay informed about the biological aspects of disability, we first go to Mannat and Khushbu, who will enlighten all of us with crucial information regarding the different types of disability.
Good day to one and all. Today I'm Anat with my dear friend Khushbu Arya. We both are here to present a presentation by telling you some information about disability and their different types. Now I would like to invite Khushbu to tell you the basic meaning of disability with different types.
Hello everyone, I am Khushbu. While we wanted to share some information about different disabilities with you, remember, disability is not black and white. Two people with the same type of disability may not have the same experiences. So let's move on to the first type of disability. So the first type of disability is intellectual disability. Under intellectual disability, a person's IQ level is below 70, as well as significant difficulty with daily living, such as self-care, safety, communication, and socialization. People with an intellectual disability may process information more slowly, find communication difficult, and also have difficulty with abstract concepts such as money and time. An intellectual disability may be caused by a genetic condition, problems during pregnancy and birth, health problems or illness, and other environmental factors. The various types of intellectual disabilities include Fragile X syndrome, Down syndrome, developmental delay, Prader-Willi syndrome, that is PWS, etc. So moving on to the next disability. The next disability is physical disability. Physical disabilities may affect either temporarily or permanently a person's physical capacity and mobility. There are many different causes of physical disabilities, but they can include inherited or genetic disorders, serious illnesses, and injury. Types of physical disabilities are acquired brain injury, spinal cord injury, spina bifida, cerebral palsy, etc. Now I will explain cerebral palsy to you. Cerebral palsy is typically due to an injury to the developing brain before or during a birth, caused by a reduced blood supply and lack of oxygen to the brain. People with cerebral palsy may experience weakness, difficulty walking, lack of muscle control, problems with coordination, involuntary movements, and other symptoms. That's all about physical disabilities. Now, let's move on to other type, that is mental illnesses. Mental illness is a general term that refers to a group of illnesses that significantly affects how a person feels, thinks, behaves, and interacts with other people. Mental illnesses can be very difficult and debilitating to those experiencing them, as well as their families and friends. They can also be permanent, temporary, or come and go. Types of mental illnesses are bipolar disorder, depression. Many of you might have heard about it. Anxiety disorders, etc. Now, the last type of disability is the sensory disability. Sensory disability is a disability of the senses, that is, sight, hearing, smell, touch, and taste. As 95% of the information about the world around us comes from our sight and hearing, a sensory disability can affect how a person gathers information from the world around them. The various types of sensory disabilities are autism, autism spectrum disorder, that is ASD, blindness and low vision, hearing loss and deafness, sensory processing disorder, etc. That's all about disabilities. That's all about disabilities. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Khushbu, for imparting us the important informations about disability. Now, I would like to call Kritika Di to tell us furthermore about the sociological aspect of disability.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Kritika Agarwal, and I humbly thank all of you for having me here. As Khushbu and Mannat have just discussed, you all must have heard enough about what people and medical sciences have to say about the various types of disabilities. Many of you might have already known some of them, but today I'm going to tell you about a special kind of disability that is not acknowledged by any person or can be found anywhere on Google. It's called judgment disability. And the major symptoms are excess assumption, wrong judgments, insensitive perceptions, and quick decisions leading to improper actions. What do you think about it? Isn't it a disability? Disability is something that enables us to do something. And so this judgment disability enables us to think with reason and rationality and makes us judge and pity people without knowing about them. And you will be surprised to know that around 90% of the population is suffering from this. Isn't this an amazing unknown fact? Yes, you and me are among them too. A very great thought by Scott Hamilton comes to my mind. The only disability in life is the bad attitude. Isn't it amazing? Disability is only a matter of perception. It's all there in mind and not in the body. See this image and do think about it. Seems to be all big talks, right? But actually, it's reality. As I said before, and I will say it again, that disability in its simplest translation means not being able to. So in this definition, all humans are disabled, aren't we? Who is perfect? There are countless things me and you are not able to do. Does that make us disabled? Tell me, a person running down with high fever and unable to move freely, or a person who is unable to eat his or her favorite dish, perhaps due to a tooth decay, can they be called disabled? Maybe and maybe not. Just because we hear and learn to use this specific word for some specific conditions doesn't mean that we must categorize everybody having issues as disabled. It is all in mind. On using this word disabled, the very first thought of your mind would go to a person sitting on a wheelchair. But I ask why? The very sad fact is that we actually never try to understand the exact problems of people and tag them as disabled and thus useless. We start pitying them. Their problem is not their disability, but these hawking eyes of society. Trust me, even if there might be 100 reasons to let go, but if you have just one reason to not give up, that's enough. Being unable to do something does not make us unwanted. If you can do just one thing, remember, you are needed by someone. After all, a physical disability cannot incarcerate the mind from roaming freely in a world of one's own imagination. We don't need someone to pity or look down upon us. Just like any other small problem can be cured, disabilities can too. Thus, consider all as normal. And the best cure to disability is to stop treating it as something very huge and pitiful. Because disability is never an obstacle to the success. Thank you.
Thank you. That was indeed a very enlightening presentation. Equipped with this knowledge, now let us move forward. We all are humans and our disability does not define us. All of us have hopes and dreams and we all deserve to live our lives to the fullest. Here we have a skit presented by students of 11th class. This is the story of a girl Gauri whose disability does not limit her in any way. This is a story of social stigma. This is a story of acceptance, and this is the story of liberation.
Hello respected teachers and my dear friends, today we will be presenting a skit based on a girl, Gauri, who is suffering with muscular dystrophy. Muscular dystrophy is a genetic disability that causes loss of muscular mass and progressive weakness. With this information in mind, let's get back to the story. Her grandmother is very orthodox and believes in no future for disabled. But her brother Devansh is adamant to change the views of all the people who are against the success of his little sister. Let's check if he is able to change their views.
अरे क्या हुआ?
भैया मैं भी चाहती हूँ मैं बाकी बच्चों की तरह स्कूल जाऊँ, बाहर जाऊँ। जब मुझे अपनी कंडीशन से कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है तो मेरी फैमिली को इतनी प्रॉब्लम क्यों है?
गौरी, तारे सिर्फ अंधेरे में चमकते हैं। माना अभी तेरी जिंदगी में अंधेरा है जो कि तेरे अलावा कोई नहीं देख सकता, पर मुझे विश्वास है तू चमकेगी जरूर। बस इस समय से सीख लेती रहे और विश्वास कर अपने आने वाले कल पर।
अरे तैयार नहीं हुए अभी तक, शादी में नहीं चलना है?
माँ, मैं तैयार होने जा रहा हूँ, आप मेरी बहन को तैयार करो।
गौरी को तैयार? वो चलेगी क्या हमारे साथ? देखो भाई, वो गई ना तो मैं नहीं जाऊंगी। पिछली बार भी सब उसे ऐसे देख रहे थे जैसे कहीं बाहर से लाए हैं। इसको तो भुगतना ही है ये सब अपने कर्मों की वजह से। पर मैं क्यों लोगों के ताने सुनूं? एक तो ये लड़की, ऊपर से अपाहिज। थोड़ा कर्म धर्म कर लेती तो आज ये दिन ना देखना पड़ता।
दादी बस भी करो। माँ, उसे अकेले थोड़ी छोड़ के जाओगे आप? ख्याल कौन रखेगा उसका? दादी से डरती रहो, मैं रुक जाता हूँ।
सब चलेंगे गौरी को छोड़ के। माँ आप भी चलिए, पिताजी आप भी चलिए, देवांश तू भी जाएगा। बहस मत करा कर, बड़ों से कैसे बात करें ये भी आप सिखाना पड़ेगा।
आप लोगों को उसकी फीलिंग्स का अंदाजा भी है? कितना सहना पड़ता है उसे। गलत घर में पैदा हो गई मेरी बहन, मैं उसके साथ रुकूंगा। जाओ उस शादी में जाओ, और हाँ, आप लोगों के ना जाने से शादी रुक नहीं जाएगी।
अरे आप लोग मेरे लिए ऐसे लड़ाई क्यों कर रहे हैं? आप लोग जाइए, मैं घर पर ही रुकती हूँ। भैया आप भी जाइए, चिंता मत करिए मेरी।
मैं कहीं नहीं जा रहा गौरी।
देवांश, गौरी को अंदर लेकर जाओ। पूरा दिन कुछ ना कुछ सुनती रहती है मेरी प्यारी बेटी।
आप तो चुप ही रहिए, जिसको चलना है चलो।
घर की सुख शांति के लिए हवन करवाना ही पड़ेगा। आजकल के बच्चे तमीज ही भूल गए हैं। पता नहीं कौन से कर्म करे होंगे, इसने भी और बहू तूने भी। राम राम राम।
All the members of the family except Gauri and Devansh move out where they meet one of the neighbor.
अरे बड़े चमक रहे आज सारे, कहाँ चले?
शादी है ना घर की, तो बस वहीं जा रहे थे।
और बच्चे कहाँ हैं? वो नहीं दिखाई दे रहे।
गौरी को तो घर पे ही बोला रुकने के लिए, सब देखते हैं ना फिर। और शादी एक खुशी का मौका है, सबका ध्यान शादी के से हटकर उस पर पड़ेगा। और उसका भाई इतनी जिद कर रहा था अपनी बहन के साथ रुकने के लिए, तो दोनों साथ ही ऐसे करते।
अरे वो भी तो अभी बच्ची ही है ना, गौरी को कितना बुरा लगेगा। घर पे बिठा रखा है, स्कूल भेजो। प्रियंका, ऐसे बहुत से ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस और स्कूल्स हैं जो डिसेबल्ड बच्चों का फ्यूचर सिक्योर करने में हेल्प करते हैं, जैसे इंडियन एसोसिएशन फॉर मस्कुलर डिस्ट्रोफी, दिव्य फाउंडेशन, आदर्श चैरिटेबल ट्रस्ट, बहुत से। यहाँ पे बच्चों को वोकेशनल ट्रेनिंग दी जाती है और बहुत से ऐसे स्पेशल स्कूल्स भी हैं जो डिसेबल्ड बच्चों को एजुकेशन प्रोवाइड करते हैं, जैसे तमन्ना, आशा है, ड्यू ड्रॉप चाइल्ड हेल्थ केयर, बहुत है। यहाँ पे बहुत सी फैसिलिटीज भी प्रोवाइड करते हैं, जैसे ट्रांसपोर्टेशन, व्हीलचेयर फैसिलिटीज, रैम्प्स, स्क्राइब्स, बहुत सी। घर से बाहर निकलेगी ना तो इसका दिल भी बहलेगा। अब भेजिए तो सही, इसका फ्यूचर बनेगा।
अच्छा, ऐसे भी स्कूल्स होते हैं। मैं कल ही जाता हूँ इनके बारे में पता करने के लिए और कल ही गौरी का एडमिशन किसी अच्छे से स्पेशल स्कूल में कराता हूँ। थैंक यू अंशिका जी, अंदर से तो मैं भी यही चाहता था कि गौरी स्कूल जाए।
हाँ माँ, अभी तक मैंने पढ़ाया, बट इट्स टाइम कि उसे स्कूल भेजो। गौरी, पोएम लिखी थी ना तूने, जो मुझे सुनाई थी, सुना।
The broken pieces of my soul try to speak the words, but they don't, as people pity my power. A power that has clutched my hand and stayed with me since forever. Some people call it a disability, some an ability. For me, it's neither. It's just an unseen normalcy finding its way back to the world. Thank you.
इतना अच्छा बोलती है तू गौरी, तूने बताया कि वो तो लिखती भी है।
अरे वाह गौरी, आप तो बड़ा अच्छा लिखते हो।
देखो, स्कूल के बिना इतना अच्छा लिखती है, बाद में तो कमाल ही कर देगी मेरी बहन।
कुछ समझ नहीं आया, पर जब सारे इतनी तारीफ कर ही रहे हैं तो जरूर कुछ अच्छा ही बोला होगा। बेटा गौरी, मुझे बाद में समझाइयो जरूर। और अभी यहाँ सारे खड़े क्यों हैं? शादी पर नहीं जाना क्या? प्रियंका, जाकर गौरी को तैयार करके लाओ।
देवांश, खुश हो जा, अब तो तेरी बहन भी चल रही है हमारे साथ। उसके बिना हमारा परिवार कभी पूरा हो ही नहीं सकता। The story ends on a happy note.
We should look at what they can do rather than focusing on what they can't. Look at their ability, not disability. We, the youth, have to try and promote compassion and acceptance. We have to stop pitying the disabled. Instead, we should provide opportunities to them so that they can live with self-respect. Together we can, and we will bring this change. Thank you.
That was surely an impactful performance. Now it's the time for our Illumina Divya to share with all of us her experience as a child of differently abled parents. After Divya, students of class 12 will present before us stories of those people whose lives never stayed the same after a life-changing event. It just took a second for fate to trip the balance and take away their normal life. But these people did not lose heart after the accident, but bravely battled the obstacles in the path of their progress and ultimately emerged victorious.
Hi, my name is Divya Batra and I am one of the students of TLDAV, one of the alumni of TLDAV Model School, Shalimar Bagh. My mom is mute and deaf and my father was mute and deaf as well. Well, I'll just speak about my mom here. It's like I have come across a lot of people who, try to sympathize with that, Bichari, and even my brother, So I feel like it's not something to be, feel pity about. I mean, my brother and I never felt that, we are losing something or there is something that my mother failed to do for the two of us or even my father. So yeah, sometimes there is this feeling, for example, my brother likes to sing a lot. Yeah, and we accept the fact that, my mom and my father could never hear him properly. They could never, experience how soulful their son is. And as a writer and poet, I write as well. It's a lot of times I feel like, I want to recite something. I have wrote down about my mom a lot of times, my father as well. But this is something, we do miss. And but apart from this, I don't think so. She is as evolving as any other person on earth, like any other parent. And we have had a really good upbringing, I would say. Yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Good morning to all. Today, Apratibha Meena, a class 12 sociology student, is going to talk about Girish Sharma, the man who did not let a physical disability get in the way of living his dream. Girish Sharma, now 32 years of age, lost his right leg in a train accident when he was 2. While other people might sink into depression, this champion never stopped believing in his dream. The champ had always wanted to serve his nation as an army man and make India proud, but unfortunately he couldn't. But when he turned 16, he fell in love with badminton and took up badminton professionally and never looked back. With his talent, he won 2 gold medals at the National Championship for Physically Challenged. For there, he even went on to represent the country in Israel and Thailand, winning 2 silver medals in Israel. In 2016, Girish was ranked number 2 in both singles and doubles for para-badminton players in Paralympics Asia Cup for Disabled. Girish is an example for us lazy youngsters. Let's wake up and jump and try to fly. If you're determined, you can do anything. Girish Sharma, a para-athlete, is an embodiment of that.
A very good day to everyone. I am Nishimagu of class 12F. I am here to tell you something about Jyoti Amgar. Jyoti Amgar is an Indian girl who holds the record for being the smallest woman in the world in the Guinness Book of World Records. She claimed the record of being the world's smallest teenager from 2009 to 2011. And after her birth, she became the world's smallest woman, a record which she still holds. She is also an actress and has acted in TV shows of different countries such as US, Italy, and Germany. Jyoti had a normal birth and grew normally until the age 2 after which her growth stopped. Jyoti has a specific form of dwarfism called androplasia. It stopped the formation of hormones in which the body, due to which Jyoti height and weight will always remain the same. She always led a normal life in spite of being different. She went to a regular school. She had custom chairs and tables made for her, which would seat her comfortably at the school's normal chair and tables were quite large for her. On 16 December 2011, she was named the world's shortest woman by the Guinness World Records in a ceremony at her home in Nagpur. She was measured by orthopedic consultant Dr. Manoj Pahukar at the Wockhardt Super Speciality Hospital in Nagpur, along with Guinness World Records educator Robert Manoj. In 2013, she posed for the 57th edition of the Guinness Book of the World Records with the world's shortest man, Chandra Bahadur Tangi. This was a historical event as for the first time the world's shortest man and woman had ever met.
Hello everyone, so today I, Palak Sinha, is here to tell you all about the success story of a very known person, that is Arunima Sinha. I hope you all are familiar with her. Arunima Sinha is an Indian mountain climber and sportswoman. She is a 7-time volleyball player, mountaineer, and the world's first female amputee to scale the 7 peaks till 2014. She was pushed from a train by some robbers in 2011 while resisting them. As a result, her left leg had to be amputated. She got rods in the right leg and multiple fractures in the spinal cord.
2011 में चलती ट्रेन से मुझे बदमाशों ने एक गोल्ड चेन पहनी थी। चलती ट्रेन से मुझे उठा के बाहर फेंक दिया था। लखनऊ से दिल्ली आ रही थी। कंपार्टमेंट में बहुत सारे जनरल कंपार्टमेंट था, बहुत सारे लोग थे। किसी ने मना नहीं किया। एक प्लेयर का जो स्पिरिट होता है वो अपने आप जब कोई छीनने की कोशिश करता कुछ भी वो देता नहीं है। मेरे भी था, मैंने मना किया और उन्होंने मुझे चलती ट्रेन से वो 4-5 उन्होंने बाहर फेंका। दुर्भाग्य ये था कि उसी समय दूसरी ट्रैक से ट्रेन आई और मैं उस ट्रेन में टकराई, फिर नीचे गिरी। दोनों ट्रेनें निकल गई। कुछ देर बाद मैंने हाथ को ऐसे रख के उठने की कोशिश किया तो देखा कि मेरा पैर कट चुका था। थाई को उठा के देखा मेरा पैर ऐसे जीन्स में लटका हुआ था, ब्लड फोर्स फुल्ली निकल रहा। दूसरे पैर की हड्डियां टूट टूट के बाहर निकल चुकी थी। पूरी रात में चिल्लाती रही ट्रैक पे कि कोई बचा ले, कोई नहीं आया बचाने। ट्रैक पे आपने ट्रेन की ट्रैक पे छोटे छोटे चूहे देखे होंगे। मेरे कटे हुए पैर पे आग के मेरे पैर कुतर रहे थे। न मैं लक, न भाग, न किस्मत, मैं इन तीनों पे भरोसा नहीं करती, क्योंकि मेरा मानना है लक भी उसी का साथ देता जिसके अंदर जीतने का जज्बा है। अगर आपके अंदर जीतने का जज्बा है तो आप परिस्थितियों को मोड़ देते हैं, परिस्थितियों को मोड़ देते। मेरे भाग्य ने लिख दिया था कि रुडिमा व्हील चेयर पे आ जा, बैसाखी ले लियो ना, बैसाखी आप सभी जानते होंगे, बैसाखी पे आ जा, लेकिन वो मुझे मंजूर नहीं था।
कोशिशों में ख्वाहिशों का ऐसा रंग तू घोल दे जिसके रंग में रंग जाए ये दुनिया।
Her aim was to climb each of the continent's highest peak and hoist the national flag of India. She has already done the 7 peaks till 2014. Everest in Asia, Kilimanjaro in Africa, Elbrus in Europe, Kosciuszko in Australia, Aconcagua in Argentina, Carden's Pyramid in Indonesia. She completed her final summit of Mount Vinson in Antarctica on 1st January 2019. In 2015, the Government of India honored her with the Padma Shri Award, the fourth highest civilian award.
Hello everyone, so today I, Sarvam Khosla, is here to tell you all a success story of a very known person, that is Preeti Srinivasan. I hope you all must be familiar with her as she is one of the famous physically disabled person. Preeti Srinivasan. She had a fairy tale childhood. Also, she had been a former captain of a women's cricket team and a national swimmer as well. Preeti had everything going for her, but things took an unfortunate turn when she met with an accident at the age of 18. The accident left her quadriplegic, but she did not let this put down her spirit. Instead, she decided to embrace it and help out others in the similar or
severe disability like spinal cord injury gets short-term and long-term rehabilitation, gets to lead a life of dignity and purpose.
Initially, she thought she had been bitten by something in the water and would recover gradually. But then she was told by the doctors that she was suffering from a spinal cord injury and got restricted to a wheelchair for life. Now Preeti runs a charitable trust in Tamil Nadu called Soul Free, which helps out people suffering from severe disabilities. Through this NGO, she wants to uplift the disabled sections of the society by creating awareness about these injuries and potential employment opportunities.
Say that it is only through this kind of life that I'm a paraplegic. People may say that that is something sad, but I don't think so. I think it's absolutely great because right now in this condition I'm changing lives. In dying, I have found out how to live fully alive, fully present in any moment and fully alive. And in becoming imprisoned in a wheelchair, I have learned what it is to be truly free.
Last but not the least, from being a sports person once and now she could not move at all. But her sportsmanship spirit and family support motivated her to become the voice of other spinal cord injury survivors. Thank you.
I'm Nandini Jain. I am here to talk about Sudha Chandra. I hope everyone knows about some disabled people in India and all over the world. Let's have a look on Sudha Chandra. She is an accomplished Bharatanatyam dancer who lost her leg in an accident on one of her return trip from Mumbai to Chennai. Later, she replaced her leg with artificial leg with the help of Jaipur Fort. Let's have some her dance videos for example. Her doctor T.K. Sethi encourages her more. Once she asks her doctor, "Can I be a dancer?" Because of her innocent face, doctor can't say no. Later, one day when she performed on a big stage, then doctor asked, "How can you do this?" Then she said, "Because of you. You told me I can do whatever I want to. That's why today I'm here to perform in between thousands of people." Here's some short story of Sudha Chandran with her disability.
Before you actually just got on the stage with that Jaipur foot?
I was
to
not
do a dance
expecting 1,000 people, no.
500?
No, it was totally a family affair. And my father told me, well, there'll be about 20 people in the auditorium. And I remember when the curtain opened and I came on the stage, I had a standing ovation. The 1,000 people were standing and they were all clapping. I said, I have not achieved anything. They said, no. It was the attitude with which you came into the stage saying, go to hell, man, I'm back.
These stories really put things in perspective, for these people are the embodiment of hard work and perseverance. Today we have with us the experiences of such people who fight their battle every day without even knowing it. They do not let their disability interfere with their lives, and that is the beauty of their courage and persistence. Here we have the students of classes 11th and 12th who had the opportunity to interview the people who have proved how somebody's disability does not make them a bichara or a hero, but a human just like us, a human with flaws and strengths and likes and dislikes.
Greetings to one and all. Today I, Gauri Lekhi of 11th F, would like to share some experiences and incidents that Radha herself shared with me. She has osteogenesis imperfecta, a disability that makes the bones fragile. This incident she shared with me was that this one time she was at a metro station and nobody helped her. They treated her like an alien, like she doesn't exist, like they can't see her. She also shared how she was not able to complete her dreams because of the people who never showed acceptance towards her or her disability. From this, don't you think we are lacking somewhere as humans and as society? We are the youth. Let's be the change and bring the change, because the change starts from us. Thank you.
हेलो, मेरा नाम राधा है, मैं दिल्ली में रहती हूँ, मेरी एज 31 है, मैं एक व्हीलचेयर यूज़र हूँ जो ऑस्टियोजेनेसिस इम्पैक्टा है। मैंने 12th तक स्टडी की है, मैंने 8 तक रेगुलर स्कूल जाती थी और घर के पास में कोई और स्कूल नहीं था, तो आगे की स्टडी मैंने 10th और 12th MIUS से की थी। मैंने कंप्यूटर नॉलेज लिया है, मैंने बेसिक कंप्यूटर भी सीखा है। मैं जॉब करना चाहती थी, इंडिपेंडेंट होना चाहती थी। मैंने काफ़ी कंपनीज़ में जॉब के लिए अप्लाई किया, ऑनलाइन जॉब के लिए, कोई डाटा एंट्रीज की जॉब हो या कोई भी ऐसी जॉब हो जो मैं कर पाऊँ, घर बैठे कर पाऊँ। बट काफ़ी बार ऐसा होता था कि मुझे वहाँ से कॉल भी आती थी और मैं जब उन्हें अपनी प्रॉब्लम बताती थी तो लोग मना कर देते थे कि मैम नहीं, आपसे नहीं हो पाएगा, आप कैसे आओगे, कैसे जाओगे, कैसे जॉब करोगे, कैसे मैनेज करोगे, तो वो मना कर देते थे। तो मैं सोसाइटी से सिर्फ एक चीज़ रिक्वेस्ट करती हूँ कि जिस तरीके से आप नॉर्मल लोगों को चांसेस देते हो और हमें भी चांसेस दीजिए ताकि हम अपना टैलेंट आपको दिखा सकें। हम भी वो सब काम कर सकते हैं जो एक नॉर्मल इंसान कर सकता है, बट ये है कि हमारा करने का तरीका थोड़ा सा अलग है। अगर आप हमें एक चांस दोगे तो हमें भी थोड़ा अपने पर प्राउड फील होगा और हम एक इंडिपेंडेंट हो पाएंगे और हमें ये जो डिसेबिलिटी का जो एक ठप्पा है ना वो हमारे ऊपर से उतर जाएगा। हम इंडिपेंडेंट हो जाएंगे तो हमें भी अपने ऊपर प्राउड फील होगा कि हम इन सबसे अलग नहीं हैं, हम भी उनके जैसे ही हैं। बदलाव ज़रूरी है, बदलाव लाइए, बट इससे ज़्यादा इम्पॉर्टेंट है अपनाना। हमें अपनाइए। थैंक यू।
Hello everyone, I am Khushbu Arya, a sociology student from class 12. I interviewed Miss Sonia Tiwari, a 33-year-old positive woman who is a great source of motivation. In spite of having a locomotor disability, which is also known as mobility disability, she travels daily from Faridabad to Green Park for her job, and that too in a wheelchair through metro. Many people demotivated her during her lifetime, but she never gave up. She is a very hard-working lady and a sweet lady who currently works at an NGO named Yes We Can as a project manager which works for the disabled. Now let us hear from Sonia Di.
हेलो, मेरा नाम सोनिया है, मैं ऑर्गेनाइजेशन एस वी कैन से हूँ। यहाँ पर मैं सोसाइटी से
कुछ चीज़ें शेयर करना चाह रही हूँ जिसमें मैं चेंजेस चाहती हूँ। सबसे पहले मैं मेट्रो की बात करूँगी। यहाँ पर मैं मेट्रो से ट्रेवल करती हूँ और जब मैं सुबह ऑफिस के लिए मेट्रो से आती हूँ तो अक्सर क्या होता है मेरे साथ कि लिफ्ट में जो नॉन डिसेबल लोग होते हैं वो देखकर भी मुझे देख के तुरंत भागकर और पहले खुद चढ़ जाते हैं, जबकि उन्हें थोड़ा सा कोऑपरेट करना चाहिए, वो सीढ़ियों से भी जा सकते हैं। तो यहाँ पर मैं चाहूँगी कि और वैसे भी जो लिफ्ट है वो डिसेबल पर्सन और सीनियर सिटीज़न के लिए होती है, ये नॉन डिसेबल के लिए नहीं होती, तो उनको ये बात वैसे भी समझनी चाहिए। दूसरा मैं यहाँ पर एक बात जिसमें मैं बदलाव चाहती हूँ वो ये है कि अक्सर डिसेबल लोग को या तो पेशेंट कहते हैं लोग कि बीमार है ये, पर नहीं, ये कोई बीमारी नहीं है, ये एक अवस्था है। और ये अक्सर जब डिसेबल और एक नॉन डिसेबल पर्सन बैठा हो तो उसको बोलेंगे ये नॉर्मल है और ये डिसेबल है, तो ऐसे करके बात नहीं करनी चाहिए, क्योंकि नॉर्मल तो हम सभी हैं। बजाय इसके ऐसे बात करके कि नॉर्मल और डिसेबल हम बात करें, डिसेबल एंड नॉन डिसेबल, तो ज़्यादा अच्छा होगा। यहाँ पर मैं एक एग्जांपल देना चाहूँगी। जैसे कि कोई एक बुक है और उसका आगे का पेज फटा है, बट जब हम अंदर से खोलेंगे तो उसमें से हमें काफ़ी सारी नॉलेजेबल बातें सीखने को मिलेंगी। तो वैसे ही हर एक डिसेबल पर्सन की भी नॉन डिसेबल पर्सन की तरह ही फीलिंग्स होती हैं। वो पढ़ना चाहता है, आगे बढ़ना चाहता है, जॉब करना चाहता है। धन्यवाद।
Good day to one and all. I am Mannat and I call Mr. Ankit Bhardwaj a 35-year-old with disability known as cerebral palsy. Initially, I was quite nervous because talking to a stranger and asking about his life is a very difficult job. But I am very much thankful to Ankit Bhaiya as he held me and made me comfortable. Due to his disability, his body from waist to down has severe pain and sensation, but he walks with the help of a walker. He is a content writer, poet, motivational speaker and also has experience of working in a call center. But he also went through bad time in his life, and today he is going to tell us one such experience with his first self-written poem. But thankfully, he is a positive person right now.
Well, going into the mainstream from a special school was not easy at all because the group was very much scared. और सबके मन में एक क्वेश्चन था कि मेन स्ट्रीम के बच्चे हमारे साथ कैसा व्यवहार करेंगे। इनिशियल स्कूल डेज़ में भी जिसको आप आज की डेट में नर्सरी कहते हो, वहाँ भी कई पर्सन विद डिसेबिलिटी के साथ एक फ़िज़िकल वायलेंस होती है। उनको मारते थे, परेशान करते थे और उसकी वजह से एक डर हर पर्सन विद डिसेबिलिटी के दिमाग में, दिल में बैठ गया। और यही रीज़न थी जब हमें ये ऑफ़र किया गया, ये बताया गया कि आपको एक मेन स्ट्रीम में भेजा जा रहा है जस्ट टू सी हाउ इट वर्क्स। क्योंकि इनिशियली तो वी वर अ टेस्ट केस फॉर द ऑर्गेनाइजेशन। तो हम लोग गए वहाँ पे, हमने देखा और जब हम इंटरैक्ट करते थे और तो थोड़ा सा डर खुला। So overall, I was going into depression and the whole thing. I should rather continue myself by concluding the video by saying a poetry in Hindi. वो पंछी फिर उड़ जाएगा, वो पंछी फिर उड़ जाएगा, उड़ता उड़ता वो गाएगा, क्या यादें हैं जो छोड़ेगा, क्या साथ में लेके जाएगा। उड़ता उड़ता वो सोचेगा, क्या वो ये कर पाएगा, क्या इस विश्वास के बलबूते पर वो अपना घर बनाएगा। वो पंछी फिर उड़ जाएगा, वो पंछी फिर उड़ जाएगा। उस पंछी के भी सपने थे, उस पंछी के भी अपने थे, क्या वो पंछी वही पत्ते और पानी ढूंढ पाएगा। वो सबको ये बताएगा, वो साबित कर दिखाएगा, वो पक्का घर बनाएगा, वो पक्का घर बनाएगा।
हेलो फ्रेंड्स, मेरा नाम श्याम है और ये मेरी वाइफ मीनू। मीनू ने 10वीं प्लान एक एनजीओ स्टार्ट की। हम दोनों की शादी हुई थी दूरदर्शन, उसके बाद हमने ये डिस्कवर किया, ये पहचाना कि नीड है जो कि है अडल्ट विद डिसेबिलिटीज की। अडल्ट विद डिसेबिलिटी ज़्यादातर घरों में बंद है, क्योंकि वो मल्टीपल डिसेबिलिटी को बिलोंग करते हैं। जैसे मैं हूँ, मेरे को स्पीच की प्रॉब्लम है, मेरी हैंड फंक्शन की प्रॉब्लम है, तो ऐसे ही मेरे जैसे और दोस्त हैं, और हम सबके दोस्त ऐसे सिचुएशन में बंद है। जब तक उनकी फॉर्मल एजुकेशन चल रही है तब तक वो बाहर आते हैं, जब फॉर्मल एजुकेशन नहीं चलती तो बाहर नहीं आते। तो ग्रेजुएशन का मोटिव ये है कि इंडिपेंडेंट लिविंग, कैसे एक व्यक्ति को समाज का एक हिस्सा बनाना।
जी, हम यही चाहते हैं, एक इंक्लूसिव सोसाइटी जिसमें हम सब मिलके रहें।
That was indeed an illuminating experience for both the interviewers and for us.
We now go to a passionate advocate for inclusive education, Ms. Kaval ma'am, who has an extensive experience of 30 years in the field of special and inclusive education. She has headed both special as well as inclusive schools. Her book Hanging On was published this year in January, which talks about issues related to disability and inclusive education in an unconventional style using humor and cartoon illustrations. In short, Ms. Kaval's contribution has been remarkable. I request Ms. Kaval ma'am to enlighten us with her words of wisdom.
Hello, and thank you for the kind introduction. I'm so glad that I've got the opportunity to participate in this very meaningful discussion, very meaningful event that has been organized by the DLDAB Model School. I must congratulate the principal, ma'am, Reena Rajpal, the sociology students and their mentor, Gunjan Gupta, the alumni, as well as the guest speakers who have put together a very impressive presentation. Why is it impressive? Well, several reasons. Firstly, it's the relevance of the topic, especially in the light of the National Education Policy, which was released very recently. The policy recognizes that there is a systemic injustice. There is a divide in education. There are so many children who are excluded, discriminated. They are out of schools due to various reasons, such as social reasons, economical reasons, geographical reasons, cultural reasons, gender identity, and of course, disability. In fact, the thrust of the National Education Policy is equity and inclusion. Another reason why I found the presentation very impressive was that it's very comprehensive and manages to cover a wide gamut of issues related to disabilities. And this included dispelling myths. It included talking about barriers, whether it was attitudinal, whether it was physical barriers. It talked about definitions. It talked about characteristics. The presentation, the way it was designed, was very inclusive. It presented different perspectives, which included students, it included family members of people with disabilities, and it included the voice of persons with disabilities themselves. There was an attempt to remove the lens, the disability lens, and see people with disabilities from a wider angle. The very fact that you included them as part of Incredible India, as part of Diverse India, makes the whole presentation very inclusive. And last, but certainly not the least, you kept in mind the dignity and the respect of people with disabilities. You did not patronize, you did not use the sympathy approach, and you made sure that the talk was all about opportunities, equality, belongingness, abilities. So thank you so much, and a big congratulations for the presentation.
Thank you so much, Kanwal ma'am, for sparing time for us. This event wouldn't have been possible without the guidance and direction of Miss Gunjan Gupta ma'am. She organized the whole event and led the team splendidly. We invite ma'am to say a few words.
Hello everyone. Our sociology department has put forth this presentation with an objective to throw light on this sensitive topic. I'm confident that after viewing the multiple facets of disability, the insights would have helped to enhance the able in the disabled to create an inclusive society. This is ability. I would start by thanking our principal, Ms. Reena Rajpal, for giving my students and me the opportunity to take up this important issue. All my students, my budding sociologists, did a lot of research, interviewed people, gathered information, and compiled everything in this presentation. Well done, students. I'm proud of you. I would also like to extend my gratitude to my dear friend, a very experienced psychologist and special educator, Kanwal, who had helped me and guided me all through the presentation. A special thanks to my alumni students, Smridhi, Yashika, Divya, Apurva, who readily came forward to be a part of this event. This presentation would not have been possible without the help of our IT experts, Yash and Devansh of class 11th. We will now end our show with a beautiful song, Ashaएं, by our alumni, Abhishek, spreading the message of love and hope.
कुछ पाने की हो आस कोई अरमा हो जो खास खास आशाएं 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 हर कोशिश में हो बार बार कर दरियाओं को आर पार आशाएं 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 तूफानों को चीर के मंजिलों को छीन ले आशाएं खिले दिल पे उम्मीदें हंसे दिल की अब मुश्किल